What's up, everybody? Welcome to New York Rangers on the Ice, provided by Out of the Box Network. My name is Dan, and let's get this pregame started to get ready to battle the New Jersey Devils in Game 2. So the Rangers played a great game in the Game 1, and I don't know if they're going to be able to repeat, what they did in Game 1, but as long as they come close, you know what I mean? I think the Devils are going to really come back strong against us, and they're really going to push, especially in the first 10 minutes. And the Rangers are going to have to be able to handle that. So, like, what I would like to see is I would love to see them get the first goal again this time, to really take the crowd out of the game. Because I feel if you could take the crowd out of the game, that really, I think, because of the Devils' inexperience, it makes them panic a little bit. They kind of get flustered. They, that's one of the biggest factors in Game 1 was their experience. The experience factor in the playoffs is cool. Eileen C says, "Let's go Rangers." I agree. Let's go Rangers. Let's get another win tonight. And really gain some really positive momentum in this series. Just a little bit about last game. Chris Kreider is now the all-time goals leader in the playoffs for the Rangers with 35 playoff goals. Kreider is going to be an important part, to this run if the Rangers are going to go on a run. He had 2 goals in the last game. Panarin also played well in the last game, had 2 assists. Adam Fox had 4 points with 4 assists in the game. He's a really key player. So, I hope, I don't think it's going to be the same tonight. I think it's going to be a much closer game. But all the Rangers got to do is just stay focused and just play their game. And if they do that, I think they're going to be all right today. But I think it's going to be about a 1-goal game. I don't know if the Rangers are going to win, but it's going to be very interesting to see what the Devils have in response. What they're going to be desperate for a win, and they're really going to push really hard in the beginning. And just like Game 1, the Rangers are going to have to withstand that pressure. And, if they get down early, they're going to have to respond. And, obviously the top 6 is going to have to perform like always. I expect the third line to be fine. I would like to not put them on 4 power plays, because I think if you put them on 4 power plays again, I think they're going to take advantage this time. Even though a lot of Devils fans I know say that the Devils power play is not very good. And that's kind of surprising, to be honest. With how high powered they are scoring wise, I really thought, they were going to score on one of the power plays, and they ended up not getting 1 shot on the power play, which is totally inexcusable if you're a playoff team. If you're a playoff team, you want to do something, your special teams have to produce. And one of the big things that the Rangers did, they scored 2 times on the power play, and they took advantage of their opportunities when they had them. If the Devils don't do that, they're really going to be in trouble. The Rangers just need to continue what they're doing and have another solid performance. I don't know if they can necessarily repeat what they did last time, because they almost played a flawless game except for maybe 4 or 5 mistakes. So, and Shesterkin looked like he's in top playoff form. That's a really great sign, because like I said, last year versus Pittsburgh, they really hung him out to dry, and you never want to let your goaltender hang out to dry. So a couple things I want to talk about. Let's see here. Fuzzy Panther says Canes, hell of a good win last night. I thought the Islanders had him for a second, but I forget who scored that goal. Fuzzy will tell me. It was just like the Lindgren goal. It was like the same type of goal, and it was on the red line. It went right off the helmet of Sorokin, and that's a tough loss for the Islanders, man. I thought I don't know who I want to play in that series, the Canes or the Islanders. I don't think it really matters, but the Rangers got to take care of business first. But good win for the Canes. Now they're going to go play in New York, and let's see how they play there. Let's see if the Islanders can respond. The Islanders got really unlucky with a puck going off of Aho, who was who was on the opposite team, on the Canes before that, and it went right off his stick and right past. So I couldn't believe that happened. Just says, there we go. Yeah, here we go, Rangers. Eileen C says, boo Canes. I think the Rangers match up really well versus the Canes, but can't worry about the Canes right now. Yeah, because you got to worry about the Devils. Take care of business first, and then whoever we play, we play. I would like to get this series done in 5 games in the least and 6 at most. I don't want those 7-game series where anything could happen, and you could lose a game 7 easily, especially if the Devils got some momentum in this series. Let's see here, my notes here. But yeah, so I'm really looking for the Devils to respond in this game. I don't think I think that they desperately need to score the first goal just to get some momentum. You don't want to get down if you're the Devils, by a goal or two again, and have to press and press. And that's what you noticed about last game is, once they got down, and the Rangers had a goal call back, and then they responded. Once they got down, they just didn't know what to do with themselves. So I'm looking for a better performance from the Devils, and I hope it's another Rangers win tonight. I'd love to get a 2-0 lead going home. You have a chance to maybe get another win at home and then close out the next game. But I think it's going to go 5-6 games. Let's see. Jace Campbell says Devils have a Canadian boy on their team. Who are you referring to exactly? Just curious because they might have a few. Sorry about that, everybody. But who you're talking about, Jason Campbell, I would like to know. Because I can't really guess right now because I'm just thinking of the Rangers players. So just let me know who you are referring to. I think Hughes needs to have a big game tonight. I think he has to really set the tone, and they need something from Timo Meier. Let's see. TJ says, yeah, exactly. That's what I said. Like, don't TJ says, don't most teams have a few Canadians on the team? Yeah, they do. So, like, when you say, "Oh, they have a Canadian," I'm not sure which one he's referring to. TJ, you know what I'm saying? But good luck to your team, TJ, tonight. They definitely need to have a big response in a big way, and I'm interested to see how they handle it. And like we said, the experience factor makes a big difference in this game, or in this series, I should say. So I think that if you're a Devils fan, you really want them to respond tonight. And if they don't respond, if they end up having another, 4 power plays and only got a couple of shots and no goals, I don't think that's a very good sign for them at all. But any questions you like to ask, about the game, what you think of the game, what you think's going to happen. Let's see. TJ says, if we don't even get our shots at the power, the series is over, because obviously in the playoffs you have to take advantage of your opportunities. If you don't take advantage of opportunities, then you're in big trouble. And that's kind of what happened to Rangers versus Tampa Bay. They got a lot, power plays, and they couldn't score. Their top 6 just didn't perform like it's supposed to. And from a Devils perspective, you expect their top 6 to perform. They've been really good all year. Their offense has been really good all year. They pushed a whole lot, and the Rangers were able to withstand it. And the Rangers forechecking was just excellent last night. The Devils need to figure out some way to counter that. I think it's using their speed, but the Rangers played a really physical game with them. And I don't know if the Devils can handle that in a playoff series just yet. I think they're more of a speed finesse team than a physical team. And, setting the tone early physically and forechecking is so important in the playoffs. You get the Devils flustered. You get Vanecek flustered. My question for TJ is, if they give up like 4 or 5 goals again, are you starting a different goaltender, or are you sticking with Vanecek? maybe let's see. This is off topic, but TJ says, "Let's go Mets, let's go Braves." In response, they won they lost yesterday, but got one of the best records in baseball. But I don't mind seeing the Mets do well. Like I said the other day, totally off topic. I wouldn't mind seeing the Mets win a World Series, TJ, again. I don't really hate them. I know some Braves fans do, but I don't hate them. I think it'd be cool to see them win again. But first is your Devils got to get a win. They're going to be desperate, and when teams play with desperation, they're a little bit tougher to face. And the Rangers have to be able to handle that and withstand that. I think they will. I think it's going to be a pretty close game. Let's see. If they get, teacher says, if they get up to 3 or 4 goals, they need to pull the keeper, and play Blackwood. I think I forget the last game of the season or the second he played in the game. He gave up a couple of goals early or something, and then he played well the rest of the way. Because your goaltender needs to have confidence. If your goaltender doesn't have confidence, I don't care how skilled he is, you got to make a change and see if you can get something from your other goaltender. Like me, I don't want to see Halak at all in this series, obviously. I think Shesterkin will be fine. Look, I don't know if he's going to be giving up goals like he did versus the Pens last year. We gave up 6 goals, 2 games in a row. So they really seem on top of their game. Yeah, but I'm really happy for, like I said earlier, Chris Kreider is the playoff leader in goals with 35 all-time for the Rangers. I thought Mikkola, the acquisition that we got from the Blues, played really well. He played up on the top pair for a while when Lindgren was hurt. Really, he's not meant for that, but third pair, he played excellent. Gaudreau played excellent, even though TJ knows he got punched in the face 5 times. He got abused on the boards towards the end of the game. I've never seen Gaudreau as a fighter, to be honest. But I think that maybe the Devils could instigate a little bit and get some penalties called on the Rangers. Let's see. Ellie says, "Hope the Rangers crush the Devils." I don't think it's going to be like last game. I think it's going to be a much tighter, closer game. If the Rangers get up by multiple goals, then obviously I'd be happy. But I have a feeling it's going to be a closer game. They're pretty close, but the Rangers have that experience factor, and they know what it takes, and what they went through last year, being unexperienced, is really paying off. Especially, it was only 1 game, but it looked like they learned their lesson. And just stay healthy. Play the way they did last night. Play disciplined. Just have the same mindset. To be good on the forecheck. Eileen says, Eileen says, "Here we get TJ screw the Devils." Them's fighting words right there. The absolute fighting words. So I just want to read one of our sponsors. Ken Fry hosted the Batcave for Not Your Average Janes. His daughter plays on their travel softball team. They're always looking for donations for equipment, cleats, anything like that. They so help them out any way you can. Contact Ken Fry of the Batcave, only on Out of the Box, and give them a helping hand any way you can. Ken Fry has it shows excellent the Batcave. So contact him and help out Not Your Average Janes. Let's see, you got some comments here. My prediction for tonight, Eileen says, I'm going to say 3-2 Rangers in overtime. I think it's going to be close. I think they're going to pull it out, but I think it's going to be close. I think the Devils are going to play a much closer game. Let's see. TJ says, sorry, I was busy hanging my Yankees sunflower. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, we need a Mets Yankees World Series again, TJ and Eileen. I think that would be a whole lot of fun, to be honest. But the Mets got to get Verlander back. I don't even know what the Mets record is, TJ. To be honest, I really looked at it. With playoff hockey, I'm really just super focused on it. I can't really think of anything else. I mean, we got the draft coming up, but we'll talk about that on Big Blue Power at 8 o'clock tomorrow night with Evan on Out of the Box Sports. We're going to be talking, strictly the draft, and then obviously, next week, we're going to have a draft show for the first round, and then, we'll also have a reaction show at Big Blue Power Hour. Let's see. TJ says this is off topic, but oh yeah, another Subway Series. Yeah, I think it'd be a lot of fun. I think it would be exciting. TJ says the Mets have won the last 9 of 11. Sorry, we're going like baseball here, but the chatters want to ask about, so I'm going to oblige. Jason Campbell says, "LOL, TJ." TJ says, "Scherzer is suspended now too. 10 games? Are you serious? I didn't even see that. Are you serious, TJ? 10 game suspension? What, the stuff on his hand, I guess? Man, I didn't expect that. Someone's going to be coming up from the minors, man." Says sticky hands. It'd be nice to know what the substance is. Let's see. Eileen says, how many of those were Scherzer having sticky stuff on his hand? That's what I think it's about. I think he had a substance on his hand, and they assume it's like that spider tack they have, so they suspended him. I'm surprised it's 10 days. Yeah. Oh, really? Man, I didn't really read the rules. Eileen says it's an automatic 10-game suspension. Just because a TJ can't suspend someone, can't suspend one for using a rosin bag, but the thing is, what was on his hand? Let's see. A couple more comments here, and then we'll get back to the Devils game, Rangers. Jason Campbell says, MLB going to get called out for this BS. I mean, they're real strict on it this year. I mean, they're tossing guys for violating, arguing the pitch count. They're tossing guys for arguing the batter not being ready. You're gonna probably see the most. This is TJ. The same umpire is the only one to eject any pitchers, and he's ejected 3. That's crazy. That's what I was wondering. Maybe he's just got something up his behind or something like that. I didn't expect. I would give a warning and not toss you. I don't know. That just makes no sense to me. So that's interesting. It's the same umpire. It's almost like what's that guy, Angel Hernandez, who's the worst umpire. It's always him making the worst calls. Unlike the other guy was 99% efficiency rate. Yeah, Jason Campbell says that's an odd one. It's very odd. But back to this game before. I'd like to ask any of the Devils fans what they think is going to happen in this game tonight. What do you expect from the Devils? Do you expect them to fold, or do you expect a response? I expect a bounce back game for them. Will it equal a win? I'm not sure, but I think it's going to be a 1-goal game. I really do. Well, I would love to see Kane do something in the playoffs. I know there are a lot of Rangers fans complaining about Patrick Kane, but he had an assist. He had a point. He didn't play horrible. He's 35 years old. Maybe he has that hip issue. Let's see. TJ says, I think if we don't come early and score early in the series, it's over going back to your. I think they need the first goal, TJ. I think that without a doubt, they need the first goal. They really do. They got to get some momentum and get that crowd in the game. I got half the Rangers fan in the crowd, and that's what happened last game. It was the Rangers you heard, like, it sounded like they were at home. I actually met a guy. I was going to get, lunch in town, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to, I was there last night. It was crazy." And he's going tonight. And I said, "Oh, you're going to go like game 3?" He's like, "No, it's like ridiculously expensive." He was telling me, TJ, $1,000 a ticket to go to the game 3, which is wild. TJ says they can't go to the second. Yeah, exactly. I think they need to at least be up or tied in this game at the end of the first. Because if the Rangers get up like a couple of goals, I feel their defense is going to clamp down again. And that's one thing I was impressed with, was their defense played better than I've seen it in a long time, like better than I saw it all year last year. That's how good their defense was in game 1. Stacy says, "Let's go Rangers." Absolutely, let's go Rangers. She says, "No way I pay that much to go. I can say it while Eileen does my dish." Yeah, you can definitely stay at home, and she has to do my dishes first. Then she can do other people's dishes. But no way I'm paying that much. I'll watch it on my 65-inch. The travel expense. You think you're paying for the ticket? You got to pay to park. You got to get a beer. You got to pay. You're probably going to go out to dinner beforehand. That's what I do when I go to the Garden or go somewhere like that. I go early, have dinner beforehand, have drinks beforehand. That way, I'm going to spend a lot of money in the arena. Ellie says, "LOL." Let's see. Ellie says, "I will make you all boiled chicken or leftover lamb." Now I need a steak. I need a nice like filet mignon or a nice I can't like a porterhouse. Man, I can't think of that like big thick cut of steak. I can't think of it at the moment for some reason. TJ, just like other sports, Danny. TJ says, just like other sports, Danny, they're pricing the real fans. I totally agree with that. They should make it reasonable for fans to go. It's just crazy. It's always like that. Every ticket price is different for like when they're playing if they're playing like Carolina, it'll be even more expensive. Every round is more expensive. Eileen says, "Okay, I'll make you steak and beans. I don't like beans." So cross out, get rid of the beans. I'm good. I know, crazy, but people say, "You don't like beans? What?" Jason Cup says, "I never had lamb before. Lamb is excellent. It's got to be cooked right." Sorry about that. Now we're getting into food talk. And mashed potatoes. That sounds good with sour cream. The Greeks, Jason Campbell says the Greeks love lamb. We're going all different directions here at New York Rangers on the Ice. You guys are making me hungry now. Can we stop talking about food? But I do got some tacos, some steak and chicken tacos left, so that's what I'll have later for dinner. Eileen says, "Yeah, I don't hate them. I just don't eat them." Oh, bacon. Stacy says bacon, always. TJ says, "A whole generation of children miss out on the stadium experience, and eventually the fan base will fall off." Yeah, like me, I can't afford to. I can't afford to go to games. To be honest, I would love to go. I got no transportation. If someone wants to buy me a ticket and come pick me up in my 450-pound wheelchair, fine. Same as Hoyland says, I like steak. Sorry about the Bruins. It's only one game, so let's not give up on the Bruins. Insane. As Hoyland says, "Go Devils." No one cares about the Rangers. Well, no one cares about the Bruins either, sir. Fuzzy says, "I was getting excited about the Ranger game. Now I'm hungry." Exactly. The person who runs out of the box sports is always posting food. I'm like, oh man, you're making me hungry. Like every day, like every single day. But that's all right. Jason says, TJ, the Coyotes have to be moved. Gary is stalling as per usual. Yeah, I think they play in like a small arena this year or something like that. But I know it's only temporary for them. They just, man, they were good like a few years, but they just struggle like all the time. Let's see. Insane Mass Holian says $750 for Bruins tickets last night. Oh my goodness. Like that's just too expensive. It's just out of control. You could probably go like that's why I like go like the old Yankee Stadium. You get a bleacher seat for under $10. I don't care sitting out there. It depends. Like, but for hockey, it's so expensive. Like it's probably one of the most expensive events to go to. I just want to talk about another sponsor of ours. Check out monkeycoldcoffee.com. Check out their bourbon chocolate chip infused coffee. It's an excellent cup of coffee. I love coffee. I love their coffee. It's excellent. Use the promo code OOTB Sports at monkeycoldcoffee.com and get your bag today. Get 10% off and enjoy some Monkey Cold coffee. And coming soon, they're going to have toasted coconut rum. That reminds me of the toasted almond ice cream bars. I wonder if it tastes like that. So, monkeycoldcoffee.com, promo code OOTB Sports for 10% off on a bag of coffee. All right, now we're going to more comments here. You can buy TJ says you can buy two 65-inch TVs for the cost of one ticket and parking. Absolutely, TJ. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'd rather get a nice TV, sit at home, and enjoy the game by myself. Have my own snacks, my own drinks, my beer, whatever. Relax and watch the game. Hopefully, I want to throw something at my TV tonight. The playoffs give you agita like that. TJ says, I wish Monkey Colt sold gummies. I don't know. I think that's a good business opportunity, to be honest, especially with those things popping up all over the place. Sane says, oh, no, it's probably like $35, $40 at the Garden. You're going to pay $35, $40 to park. There's a parking garage like right across the street. It's ridiculously expensive. Yeah, at least $50 for this event. It might be more than $50. Yeah, I don't know how people spend that kind of money going to the games. He says JG said he went to the Devils game park. It was like $50 plus. So then it's going to be more at the Garden. It's going to be way more, like way more than that. Try Insane Mass Holding says try 50 here, Danny, plus. Yeah, that's what I think. It's crazy. TJ says that's what I love about MSU. You can get off the train and just go up the escalator and you're in. Yeah, Penn Station's right underneath it. And that's the way I'd rather do it. Like I used to have a car and do it, but that's the way I'd rather do it. You get on the burger line here and get to like Secaucus, and then get to the path and go right to Penn Station. Eileen says, I've been in the Prudential Center once, Eileen C, and I saw Soundgarden in 2011, and they hadn't toured in forever. And Chris Cornell had the long hair. It was an unbelievable show. That's the only time I've been there. What I like about Prudential Center, at the top of like the bottom section, the 100 section, they have like a bar, the whole length. So you could go back there and sit back there and watch the game. Stand at the bar. Get a drink. I really like the Prudential Center and their setup. Joey P. Wood says MSG is one of the few stadiums where there isn't a bad seat now. So you can sit in the 400s, like way up, and you get a great seat. And the acoustics of the Garden for shows are even better. The crowd there probably it sounds absolutely crazy when you're there because the acoustics is just nuts. TJ says, did they have lamb chops at the Prudential Center? Now I want lamb chops. That's what I said. Someone mentioned lamb chops. I love chicken. Someone mentioned chicken. Now I just want to eat. Thanks everybody. Making me really hungry. I'm just hungry for another Rangers win tonight. But I think it's going to be close. I would like to ask TJ, what do you think the score is going to be tonight? I don't like to make predictions. But I know TJ's a Devils fan. Fuzzy is a Canes fan, and Sam S. Holian is a Boston fan. I'm not sure who Jason's team is. Jason Campbell. Let's see. TJ says, MSG was the one video of my childhood. Knicks, Big East basketball, and 200 concerts. Wow, Bleed. Wow, TJ. Man, yeah, you tell us about the concerts you've seen, and you have seen some probably amazing concerts. My mom saw Led Zeppelin there like 3 or 4 times. I think she saw Hendrix there. She see the Allman Brothers like 5 or 6 times. Like my mom went to a lot of concerts too. She grew up in the 60s, 70s. And seriously, it's 3-2 Devils. I did say 4-2 Rangers last game, and he was close. Yeah, I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't really like to make a prediction for game 1. But I'm very satisfied with how they played. They played much better than I thought they would. And if they can play hockey like that and play like that consistently, they're going to be tough to beat, I think. TJ says, I seen Led Zeppelin there one Saturday night and then saw them go at the Spectrum in Philly the next Saturday night. That's the best thing about being close to Philly. It's like 2 hours, MSG, and I think TJ, you lived in like Central Jersey, maybe like more south. So it's like right in between. It's like an hour each way. TJ says, I hate making predictions, but I would say 4-3 Devils in overtime. I said 3-2 Rangers in overtime, but I have a feeling the Devils might win this game. I really do. I think they're evenly matched. I just think that the Rangers' experience is such a massive factor in this game. It's absolutely huge. That's one of the big things that I was thinking about in this game. And TJ says South Jersey, yeah. So right past the dividing line, South Jersey, Eagles, Eagles fans, Devils fans, Phillies. Well, you don't like the Phillies at least. At least you don't like the Phillies. So I'll give you some credit there, TJ. And then north, from like Trenton, north is all Giants, Yankees, Rangers fans, a lot of Mets fans, a lot of Jet fans. So yeah, I think it's going to go overtime. I think the Rangers will win 3-2. Bleed says that they will win 4-3 in overtime. So let's see how it goes. I'm gonna wrap up in a few minutes here. I just want to see the Rangers play well again, and play. I want to see if they can repeat their performance. I really don't know, because they play really, really, really solid besides a few mistakes. Comment. TJ says, this is one on the coach to make them believe they can come back. The Rangers beat them up pretty bad. Yeah, the Rangers were really physical with them, and the Devils couldn't handle it. The Devils kind of were really pressing, but let's see if Lindy Ruff makes adjustments. I've criticized Gallant for not making adjustments. I don't think they really need to make any, because they played an almost flawless hockey game. So let's see if Lindy Ruff can make the adjustments he needs. That's one thing I'm interested to see. And Sam S. Williams says, if Lightning win tonight, the Leafs are done. Man, the Leafs, man, I feel bad for Leafs fans. a lot of us here, in the chat are friends with a Leafs fan, and they just can't get it done for like 6-7 years. They just get beat, and Tampa Bay is the one team that's always in their way. They're always in their way. Tampa Bay is always a team eliminating the Leafs. Like they're a nightmare for them. So getting their ass kicked 7-3, I would really hope the Leafs have a response for that. Otherwise they're in big trouble again. Big trouble. But we've seen the Leafs do that before. They seem to make moves. They have a really good regular season, and they get knocked out of the playoffs. They just insane. Jason Campbell says insane. I agree. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, you give that Tampa Bay team momentum like that. That's not good news. Stacy says every game should go into overtime so the fans get their money's worth. Yeah. Like the Devils definitely didn't get their money's worth. Definitely not. Like I think it's going to be half Rangers fans again. That's why it's important to get the crowd behind them. Jason Kimball said, I think Matthews gets traded over the summer. He might. You could probably get a good haul for him. The box score says, I have Devils plus 1.5 tonight. Sorry, brother. The groundhog in the yard. In the back told me, book it. LOL. What'd you call him? What'd you name that groundhog? You messaged it, and I laughed at it when you said, "Oh, I gave him a name. I gave my groundhog friend a name." Insane message. The season don't mean much. This season don't mean much. NHL seasons, like the regular season means nothing. Roast. There it is. There it is. Maker says you call them roast beef. Oh man! Oh, now I want some roast beef. Oh man, I want a roast beef melt with like oh man, what kind of cheese? Oh, I have to decide on cheese because I love cheese. Now I want a roast beef melt. Stop mentioning food. You're making me hungry. But I agree with the same as Hollywood said. The regular season means nothing. The Devils, beat the Rangers in the season series, but it means absolutely nothing. Everyone starts 0-0. It's been an exciting playoffs so far, and I'm hoping Pudgy says, Pence says, Danny on the food again. Hey, I didn't mention food. Someone mentioned roast beef. I'm not the one mentioning food here, everybody. Let's see. No, Connor. TJ says roast beef has to have Swiss on it, right? That's what I was thinking, but melted on the top, TJ, with mustard. I love roast beef melt. Maker says he's huge. He's about 35 pounds at least, I'd say. We throw out food. He eats like our family. Yeah, pretty soon he's going to show up with his family, with like 2 or 3 groundhogs. Can you feed us, please? Eileen says provolone is also a good choice. It's a very good choice. TJ says on sweet heat bread and butter pickles. What is sweet heat bread? I've never heard of that before. Try roast beef with barbecue sauce. Insane Mess Holian says. Let's see here. Yes, yeah. See, we got on a tangent now. Off on a food tangent, off on a baseball tangent. But I'm gonna play our shows and sponsors here. Then we'll finish up with our final thoughts. One more comment. TJ says sweet heat bread and butter pickles, not bread. Oh, okay. I just never heard that before. But and now I'm gonna go eat my tacos as soon as I'm done here. But I'll be back in 1 second. All right, everybody. I want to thank you for joining me for another pregame for Game 2, New York Rangers versus Devils, coming up at 8 o'clock. Is Locker Room podcast with Mike, and also coming up at 10 is Fight Club with our host of Out of the Box. And but thank you for joining us. And let's see, I got a couple more comments. This is Maker says, anyway, give me anytime scorer tonight for any team. Got to make some money. Roast beef, Swiss melted cheese with gravy on top. Oh man, that sounds great. Yeah, tonight they're going to have Patrick Brady on Fight Club, PFL Fighter. So go check him out. It'd be interesting to hear some insight from Patrick Brady from his perspective. So at 10 p.m., check out Fight Club. And TJ says, I will answer your question in a second, Miko. Thank you for watching Cooking with Danny. Kids, now go eat and enjoy the Devils win. Oh, they better not win, but they might. You know, we'll see. We'll see if I'm mad and annoyed or happy as heck that they won. But yeah, thank you for joining New York Rangers on the ice. Good luck to the Devils. Go Rangers. Let's see what happens tonight. Let's see. Fuzzy says a couple more comments before we go. Devils by 1, Fuzzy says. I think it's going to be a 1-goal game. I really do. Smith only on Out of the Box, TJ, LOL. If they if they lose Adios Mia, I'll be unhappy. Yeah, as we all know, when you lose in the playoffs, it sucks. But go Rangers. Thank you for joining New York Rangers on the ice. And I'll see you in the post game. Have a good night, everybody. Have fun watching the game. Maker says anytime score. I'm going to say Adam Fox. That's my answer. Anybody else want to give an anytime score? Fuzzy says adios. Take care. Anybody else? All right. Let's see. One more. Good. She says good show, Dan. Let's go Rangers. All right. That's going to be it for the pregame. We'll see you in the postgame, whatever time that is. Hopefully, it's not after 3 overtimes at like 1 in the morning. TJ says either Hughes or Hughes' brother. All right, I'm out, y'all.